Welcome back, Last Request Barbecue Show. Got something super fun. It's Valentine's Day today, so I'm making my lovely wife and I dinner that is a favorite from one of our favorite chefs, Emeril. Nice Portuguese boy. For those of you who are perhaps a little younger, he was a big deal, still is a big deal. I've been in a couple of his restaurants, most recently in Las Vegas. Fantastic food, and he's got a great restaurant in New Orleans. And this is a New Orleans-inspired recipe. We're making chicken Clemenceau with Brabant potatoes, and we're making it with a Bearnaise sauce. All homemade, all out of here. Lots of moving parts, comes together really quickly. I'm gonna kick it up a notch, as Emeril might say, with some Cattleman's, which goes so fantastic on any chicken. Thanks again to our friends at All Barbecues Canada. And as part of the meal, there's a bit of ham, so I'm using Dubreton, who makes fantastic food, no nitrates. I love their products. It's organic, pork raised without antibiotics, cage-free, no nitrates, no gluten, no phosphates, and no preservatives. Real food. All right. Well, lots of stuff to get going, so let's get cooking. We got to get the potatoes boiling, and a bunch of steps here, but it all comes together pretty quickly. So let's get started. All right, first things first, and let's get our potatoes into the boil. Water's already on the boil, so let's get these in here for about 10 minutes. But we've cubed up these potatoes, so cube up your potatoes like 1 by 1s or something like that, you know. It's New Orleans cooking, so it doesn't have to be, you know, you don't need a measuring tape or anything. And we'll get these boiled up, and then they go and get in the deep fryer. And then while these are boiling up, we'll start prepping. Add a bit of water at Crown Verity. Lid on. Woo, that's hot. I'm gonna make the full 4 portions because it is a delicious meal. Just my wife and I tonight, but there'll be delicious leftovers, so we just fix up some chicken here. We've got some parts on it I don't love, so let's get that cleaned up a bit. Yeah. All right, not the most compelling television in the world, but there you go. I don't like those veins. Look at that thing. Get that out of there. That's not adding anything. All right, that's good enough. And let's season them up with our Cattleman's Grill, the best for chicken. Again, not called for in the recipe, but I love it. A little bit big chunks of salt, gets it fresh and ready to go. And let that sit for a bit. Like I said, there's a lot of steps to this recipe, but it comes together real quick, so prep is the key on this one. Good, I'll let that sit. All right, now what I've also done, we got butter, we got some of that ham cut up, we got some mushrooms, and we've got 1 huge, large onion. Right now we'll keep an eye over here, see what our temperature is at. We want this around 350, 360, and we are at, we're at about 3, oh, there we go, it's coming up. Yeah, so that's getting there. Now we got a full arsenal of pans. We're doing a lot of stuff. The recipe actually calls for cast iron, nice heavy pan, but I'm also doing some boiling for the Bearnaise sauce right over there. All right, let's get working on our chicken. That is, that is definitely ready for our chicken, which doesn't go in for too long. Move that around a little bit so it doesn't start sticking. I'll get that going, because this next step is the chicken comes out, we brush the pan, and then we start making everything else, and it all kind of gets poured on. So that's about exactly where I want it. Perfect. All right, these are looking good. Let's give them a flip. Ah, very nice, very nice. And that continues. Our water here is boiling. I've got it hot. That's where I'm going to make my Bearnaise sauce. And over here is where we are going to put the potatoes once done in a couple of minutes. So 2 minutes, and that'll be 10. We can get these out of here and get them fried up. All right, our potatoes are ready. They've been boiling now for 10 minutes. That's exactly what I wanted them to do. So let's get these off the boil. And then the potatoes will just drain on their own. Look at that, beautiful. I love this tool. One last check on the temperature for our oil. Lee Valley Tools, isn't that fun? All right, I don't know what that was. Was that a duck? Was that a chicken? I don't know what that was. Anyway, all right, let's check our woo! We got a splash of oil from the chicken. Chicken's fighting back, didn't like that. What are we at? 360, 375. A little hot, actually, but that's okay. I'm gonna move it here to the front, and then we're gonna carefully put in our potatoes for a couple of minutes. Oh yeah, look at that. See how that rises? So you gotta be careful as you put it in, how much you put in at the same time. I think I can get the rest of them in here. It's a mess of canola oil, but you certainly don't want to put them all in at once. Paula might have got a little carried away making a few too many potatoes, but that's all right. We're gonna stir them up, it'll be fantastic. Yeah, but see, it's down to 215, 216. So we'll push that to the back. And let's get this out of our way and over onto this pan. Let's give those a flip, see how they're doing. Coming along nicely. Yeah, it's a little low. 215. I think I'm going to do a swap-a-roo. Chicken. And instead, very carefully, our oil over here. There we go. Oh, what is that black thing? Yeah, I got it. Whew. A little pyrotechnics there. Forgot that was oil. All right, let's check our chicken here. Oh yeah, this one's done. I want it to dry out, so I'll just leave it up there. That one's done. It actually heated up pretty quickly, which is good. This one was the laggard. Yep, done. Perfect. My wife, we like our chicken well cooked. Perfect. We'll put that up top. That's going to keep warm and we'll be good to go. All right, next, now we move on to our next steps. Let's cook it in the chicken. So first of all, let's add a little butter in there. Come on, there we go. So 2 tablespoons of butter. Let that build up a little bit. Then we'll put in our onions. All right, that's good. Let's get our onions in here. Let them get translucent. Let's check on our potatoes here. They are looking good. All right, let's make a little mega hole, mega space, and in goes our garlic. Now we add our delicious Dubreton ham. Let that for about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. Now, you notice that I've got another saucepan here. We're going to start making the base for our bouillabaisse sauce. So we are going to put in some very fine cut shallots, dry tarragon, both dry tarragon and fresh, you'll see. A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, and then vinegar. And so we're going to put all that together, and then it's going to cook down till it's about half of what it is when it first goes in there, kind of thing. All right, that's been cooking for 3 minutes. Now we add in our mushrooms, in this case, finely cut portobello mushrooms. And it looks like this pan is ready. So we're going to mix our ingredients in here. So we're going to put in vinegar, shallot, dry tarragon, and salt with a little pepper in it, and mix these together. You want that to reduce while we're cooking. Give this a stir. You want this to be cooking for about 5 minutes. Aroma's fantastic. Looking good. It's been 5 minutes. Now, peas. 2 cups of peas. I'm not usually a big pea fan. If this is the one recipe, I actually don't mind them in. And these are just frozen peas. You can probably see a few chunks of ice here. It looks a bit pea heavy, so to speak, but it all comes together. So let's let that heat up for about 4 or 5 minutes. Back on the heat. How's this doing? Nice. Give this a bit of a mixture here. You want that to be cut in about half, so we're about halfway to half, I would say. Right back there where it's nice and hot. All right, good. There we go. Look at that colors, eh? Just fantastic. All coming together real well. Super well, actually. All right, let's try one of these potatoes. Oh, so good. So good. Now we take some of our Brant potatoes and we start mixing them in here. So let's get some delicious of Brabant potatoes. Again, look at that, nice crispy. Perfect. Let that drain off. There we go. Just mix those in. Oh, that's a good crispy piece. Get the rest of these in. Love these crispy bites. Now, as per the instructions, I'm going to put this in here, but really cook it up, keep it warm, and just infuse it with some flavor now. Check that out. Just look at that, to serve that on the table. Here, the base is ready. Nice, right? And we let it cool a bit. There's still a bit of snow around, so I'm just going to let it sit in some snow and let it cool. Now we're going to make our Bearnaise sauce. So we have our tarragon vinegar mixture. So we're going to move this over and we're going to put this stainless steel right there into that, first of all, We're going to put our tarragon vinegar mixture. I'm going to take 2 eggs with a splash of cayenne in it. So obviously no egg whites, just the egg yolks. And we're going to whisk those together over what is a fairly low heat. I've moved this to the front of the barbecue. Now they've started to thicken already, so we're going to add our butter, which has actually gotten a bit hard because it's been outside, so I'm going to melt that butter a bit. Whoops! And so what we want to do now, a bit at a time, a little bit of butter at a time, and just start whisking. So keep whisking, keep adding your butter. That'll keep the Bearnaise sauce moving. Let's get the rest of our butter in. Tilt that angle up. There we go. Beautiful. Now we add in a bit of salt, lemon, and then fresh tarragon. Can't get enough of tarragon, actually. And we are done. So let's get inside. Let's plate this up. Let's giddy up. Let's get it. Yum, yum, and yummer. Here it is. Chicken Clemenceau with brand potatoes and bouillabaisse. Delicious sauce. Let's take a look at Paula's over here.
It's Bearnaise.
With, not bouillabaisse sauce, Bearnaise. Topped with Bearnaise with tarragon. Delicious. Smells amazing. Let's cheers. Happy Valentine's Day, honey. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the flowers. Happy Valentine's Day. Yay.